Welcome back to the coaching dynasty. We're preparing for our second year as the head coach of Southern Miss. If you're brand new here, welcome. We started out as the offensive coordinator at Hawaii. We spent 1 year there, having a pretty dang good year. That was all after Road to Glory, where we redshirted our freshmen to have a 5th year of eligibility. But let's get this thing started, guys. We talked about at the end of last episode, we would go over our roster, build some lore. We're going to start with the quarterbacks. We've got 3 of them right now. That's going to be Alex Winkler, John White, and our brand new Terrence Mallory. If you guys know anything about me, if you've been following the series, you know I love the taller quarterbacks. You can also see he's got the purple road dog. He's also clear-headed mobile Deadeye at 6'4". We've only got the pull down. It looks like that's gold for our 6-foot John White improviser. And then Alex Winkler, 6'3". He's got the mobile Deadeye bronze and then a silver pull down. These guys are all split by 2 overall ratings. Everything's pretty close by 1 attribute point. Our true freshman has got the throwing power. Yeah, you could see pretty much across the board. It's pretty damn close. All right, if we had to go just based on throwing, we'd probably say Terrence Mallory, because you can see how much better he is in medium accuracy. But here's the plan, guys. I think we're going to start Winkler. It's going to be a game time decision with White as the backup and let him get 1 more year to develop during the last 4 games, or 4 games that we have blowout wins or decisive wins. We're going to get Mallory in and try to redshirt him. That's all the plan if we don't have just a disastrous season, right? And I think we'll put Mallory in to kind of save face. We'll see what happens though. That's our initial plan here. You can see these guys all have about 83 speed, give or take. At running back, Jalen Washington returns. He's an 81 overall this season. His backup is again Kenyon Clay. He's a bigger guy, 6'1", 220. And then our freshman, same exact plan with him that we have for Mallory. This guy's 5'11", 201 pounds. He has a 93 speed. His acceleration is a little off, but only a 67 overall. You know, we'll try to get him in to see action for 4 games so he won't lose his red shirt. This guy's going to be a little easier to contain than it is Mallory, who's really close to being a starter anyways. At fullback, we've got Matt Awasika, 6'2", 229, team player and road dog. We saw Gil Lloyd get signed last episode, I believe, is when he committed. He's actually going to get the red shirt. All good there. Wide receivers returning our 2 main guys, Larry Simmons, Davion Butler. As discussed, JQ Gray moving up into that slot position. The second spot's going to be Davis Dalton. He did not play at all last year. Then we have, this guy was from the first coach's recruiting class. We put a red shirt on him. This was actually our first commitment when we took over the job at Southern Miss. This is Kadrin Khan, 6'3", 195, got some decent speed. The rest of our guys, we talked about Campanaro being 5'6", 186 pounds. Yeah. I wish he was a little better overall, but he's got some decent speed as well. These guys are all going to wear the red shirts. We talked about Mackland. If we didn't sign Mallory, he might have played a little quarterback because we needed another quarterback. At tight end, Jaden Ham's going to be the starter. This was a really close on-paper battle with Justin Reed, who we had a lot of experience with last year. The speed tick's going to go over here to Jaden Ham, as well as the catch and traffic stats. So that's why we're really excited about this guy, just because of his just crazy size. And if you watched the last episode when we recruited him, he was out of Eudora, Kansas, but it looks like the glitch if you transfer is it just puts you at the top of the state you're from. So Altamont, Kansas. Interesting, right? Here's Alex Ollie, who we saw Commit, he was actually a better free safety than he was a tight end. So 69 overall at free safety. I just don't see a 6'5", 200 and almost 50-pound free safety, especially with 82 speed. So we put him in the position that we recruited him for. That's going to be tight end. He's going to wear the red shirt because we've got 2 guys leaving here. So he'll at least be the 3rd string heading in the next year. Just real quick, we're going to skim over our line. 79, 83, 83. We've got 2 seniors right there that are really close in the guards. We've got an 80 overall at center. Will Saxton, this guy was our top player last year as far as overall rating. He's at right guard. Right tackle is going to be a 79 overall. Left end this year, Owens, we did not see a lot of him last year, if any. We did see Elias Fuava. And then we're actually going to put the red shirt on by Job this year. So we had it on him early last year. We took it off because he was the best rushing option at defensive tackle. And he had quite a few sacks. He had a handful of sacks for us at right end. Caleb Bryant, right. Defensive tackle is going to be, I don't know how to pronounce this, Shameik Jones, I believe. Left outside linebacker, we've got Dante Kelly returning for his senior year. Here's the freshman Chester Wire. This guy was a gem. And middle linebacker is going to be Henry. He's going to be replacing Crew Jackson from last year. And here's Bird. Caleb Bird is one of the guys that we had highlighted as a commitment. Whit Weeks returns. He's going to be on the edge as well. We're going to be rushing him, so expect to see him. He was our sack leader last year with 9 sacks. More than double the next guy. Josh Games or Gomez. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. He's going to be red-shirted. At cornerback, we got Braxton Myers and Santario Willis starting on the corners. I might move one of these guys to the slot. I'm not sure yet. At the moment, we do have a senior, Caleb Patterson. He's got the man-to-man tendency. All right, and then we've got 2 slot tendencies here with quick jump, the platinum quick jump or master quick jump, and then I hope it's gold, but I think it's bronze quick jump on Santario Willis. Willis led in interceptions last year, and then just because he's probably not going to play, this was the 4-star that we found super late in the season, and then a bunch of guys that we're just gonna throw the red shirt on. We don't really need to sign another defensive back for a while. At free safety, going to be Dalton Brooks. Dalton Brooks was that transfer out of Texas A&M. Pretty good for us last year. Got a couple red shirts and some of the lower guys. We might move like this guy, 6'2", 214, John Cole. We might move him to linebacker depending on our needs. At strong safety, we moved Cameron Knox to the starting spot. You could see Sabatini is only a 78 overall, and Knox was playing a lot of linebacker last year as well. We decided to just move him into the strong safety spot and just kind of bolster our secondary. Kicker though, Gibbs only missed 2 kicks last year, and they were both within 30 yards. But look at the physicals, field flip, right? I kind of feel like that should be a punter thing. But we've got the natural, which means you are not affected by the weather. And this is on, it's at purple, which is master, platinum, something like that. And then also mega leg. Kick power is 92, kick accuracy is 73, which is just 1 less than Gibbs here. Our starting kicker this year is going to be Carl Robbins because he's got so much more kick power. 3 more kick power for him, and only the trade-off is just going to be that 1 kick accuracy. So unfortunately, Gibbs, this is he'll be reserved to backup duty. We weren't able to cut him either. I'm not sure why, but this is going to kind of be mirrored over here on our punting. So JJ Moffitt was a freshman all-conference player, just because he punted a shit ton, but he's going to be replaced. The accuracy really doesn't matter in our punting scheme, and you can see 13-point difference in kicking power. Accuracy is not terrible either, but we're going to have Bob Offenhusel, I think is how you pronounce that. And look at all the mentals. Look at the physical. He's also got the mega leg. So he's going to be our starter. And you see, if you guys watched, you know we've had a lot of terrible punts. Moffitt just wasn't the guy. We'll probably end up cutting him next year. We weren't able to do it this year. Again, not sure why. But that's the lineup right here. The big story is who's going to, of Winkler and White, who's going to be the starter for Coastal Carolina. And then moving forward, is there going to be a need to pull the red shirt off Terrence Mallory? And is he going to lead Southern Miss this year? I mean, he's probably our biggest recruit. He was a gym. He had the size that we were looking for at 6'4", and he's got the mental abilities plus, you know, very, very comparable to even our senior starter here. So this will be a developing story before our first game, guys. Is who's going to start, and then of course the Terrence Mallory story of when is he going to take the reins of the program. Is he going to have to sit behind White, because you know White's going to be a junior next year, if all goes to plan. Mallory's going to be a redshirt freshman. Is he going to be able to play before he turns into a junior? Who knows? We'll figure it all out. 85 now overall for the team. You can see that at the top. That was one of the big reasons we didn't accept the North Texas job last year, guys. Very tempting, I have to say. They were ranked 15th. North Texas is kind of a cool school, you know. They kind of look like Oregon with the wing helmets, and I really debated that one. I also really debated San Diego State just based on their uniform, but we don't want to make lateral moves. We want to have a little loyalty. We want to get some experience building the program. That's why we're here for our second year at Southern Miss. We're hoping to do the Urban Meyer thing, though. We're hoping we got 2 years and then we get an offer to like a mid-level school. I would have loved if Arizona State, a school like that, a TCU, you know, a Utah, even like a mid-level big team, Power 4 team, you know, and a Rutgers, you know. Those are kind of things that we're hoping for as our next step. And then we'll just continue to grow from there. But without further ado, guys, I think we're going to launch this thing. We're at home against Coastal Carolina. We know that the Sun Belt is no joke for our skill level. We are playing on Heisman. I'm hoping to come out, start the season off right, 1-0. We felt like we've shaked off the stigma around playing at home. We were able to win our last game on senior day after a season of honestly losing a lot of games we should have won at home. So we're hoping to shake that. The Rock should be a dangerous place to play, and we're going to get it started against Coastal Carolina. A brand new season, a lot of new faces. The big question mark for season 2 as a head coach here is quarterback play. We've got 72 as our highest overall of 3 quarterbacks. 72, 71, 70. So we're going to give the start to the guy who's been around, presumably. And that's going to be Winkler, the red shirt senior. I'm not sure how it's going to go. We're going to find out, though. Sun Belt opener. Little change to the avatar. There we go. 6'3", 203. He's a hometown guy. Alex Winkler got the beard, man. But how we usually start games is just getting the jitters out, running the dive. First pass is going to be a crossing to the KU transfer Jaden Ham, big-bodied tight end, 6'6", I believe, at 240-ish. Unfortunately, we're not able to do a whole lot with that drive. Gonna have to end up punting it. Gonna give it to Tad Hudson. Look at that dude. I believe he's a sophomore, and he's like an 80 overall sophomore. So leaps and bounds bigger or better than our quarterback core. You can see already big plays both through the air and on the ground. We're still trying to make solid adjustments to there's always a chance to give up big plays, right? But how can we limit those? How can we make it difficult? A lot more third downs is the goal. 3rd and 6 here, we actually get a 2-yard loss. Bring some pressure. Force them to kick the field goal. Or go for it. Go ahead. You know, it's a long way to the goal line there. 3-0. About 2.5 minutes here. Fast forward just a little bit, 2nd and 4. We're going to go straight up the gut here with Jalen Washington. That's our sophomore redshirt running back. Going to get a little rollout. So the big difference between Rodemaker last year and Winkler this year, or our entire quarterback core, is their mobility. So all about 80-ish, give or take, speed. We do throw into the end zone here, looking for Jaden Ham. Unfortunately, he drops the football on some contact. And we're going to have to settle for a field goal just to tie the ball game up. We want to kind of, if you're going to throw a jab, we want to throw a jab. You're going to throw a hook, we want to throw a hook. Let's just kind of match them here. Very thankfully, our dive tackle down to his shoelaces, we were able to flail around and trip him up. So we avoided a huge play right there. 3rd and 11. You guys have been around long enough to know that almost every time 3rd and long, they're wide open. Thankfully, he overthrows it there. Getting our senior redshirt wide receiver, Dalton Davis, involved. This is a bigger wide receiver. Big plans for him, actually, after these first couple games. So stay tuned for that. On 4th and 1, we're going to go ahead and run that RPO. We're going to kick it out. We're going to pick it up before going out here to the corner. Back to Jaden Ham, just really using... He's not the fastest guy, but he does have great hands. So Javion Butler later on in the drive, going to put us in the red zone. Going to put us within the 10, man. Getting a great little rollout here. Thought this was a touchdown. Really thought this was a touchdown. We're going to stack it, and we're just going to kick it out to our fullback. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. He's AI generated or EA generated. Awasika, I believe. See that? Awasika. Then we got the ROTC blowing off the cannon. First touchdown of the year going to a true freshman fullback. I mean, I didn't see that one coming. About 90 seconds here in the half, deep in their own territory. We're going to get a pick from the Illinois transfer. If you remember 2 years ago, our first year, we targeted this guy out of Illinois. He is a man-to-man coverage corner. Getting a big pick right there, and then we're going on the flag about 30 seconds after the fact. J.Q. Gray had a touchdown last year on a 44-yard touchdown catch. Now he's moving up in the depth chart. Doesn't have great catching statistics, but he's got a little bit of speed. He's not like Mims or Buckley, but he's got enough to be dangerous. 17-3 with less than a minute to go here. And look at that. We're going to step in front of another one. Ontario Willis this time. Man, that's how we want to start the year. Wearing the All Blacks here at home. I'm not sure if the Rock had a curse on it. Not typically great at home. Right on cue, right? They're bringing pressure right as we prepare to extend this into a 4+ lead advantage or possession advantage here. But the pressure, we end up coughing the football up. First turnover for Winkler there. We're looking at making some adjustments on the defensive side of the ball when they snap it. We couldn't figure it out. Wide open, but we do force the fumble. We get it right back. 10 seconds to go in the half as well. You can see our guys fired up. 6 seconds to go here. We're just going to hand it straight up the gut. The purpose here was to run the clock out, but we're going to call a timeout because we made it across the 54-yard field goal. This is a true freshman kicker. You can see the leg on this guy. So even though we pushed it a little bit right, we had the distance, man. So that's good to know. We've kind of tested the leg of our true freshman. 54, give or take, is going to be... We did make a 50 with Gibbs last year. 54 looks to be about the extent of the range for our new kicker. Going into halftime, 17-3. That's a great way to open up the season. That's a great way to open conference play. Great little play action right there. All day to throw. Jesus, on third down, it's like You rush 5, it's 5-on-5. Everybody wins their ones on the opposite side of the ball. It's crazy. I've been trying to debate whether to go like 2 over the top, cover 2 or something like that on third down. But here in the second half, we're going to send Caleb Patterson. You saw him get a pick earlier. This is the Illinois transfer, getting a sack this time. We were just talking about this, about trying to bring one more than there are blockers. Fortunately, it worked out for us. Some of my dive tackles have been going extremely short, so that time I just tried to run into the guy to no avail. If they want to break a tackle, they're going to break any kind of tackle. Hit stick, dive, run right into him, you know, whatever. Third down, we thought we had the hook right here, but unfortunately, Butler's going to drop it on the contact. That's going to force us into a punt. All good, though, because we're still up 14. Really loud here on 3rd and 12. Look at it, man. Ontario Willis, second pick of the game for him. This time he's going to take it to the house. He's going to get himself a touchdown on this one. Had a big like second half of the year last year. So really cool to see him still being an impact player. 5 minutes ago here in the third, they start to look like second level and taking advantage of that. A little play action here, going back deep. Guys, I'm not sure how to defend these. Luckily, you know, that's not every single play. Almost had his 3rd pick of the game right here. Willis did, but he decided just to knock it down. Fortunately, we're going to force the punt, but we're deep in our own territory. 24-3 at this point. We're trying to just run the clock down on the 3rd quarter, playing safe. Not trying to do too much. No point in like running up the score per se. 3rd and long, we're just going to kick out a screen. Jalen Washington, decent little play. Winkler on his opener through 3 quarters, 158 yards, 2 scores. Not a bad little debut. Although we are missing some, we do have some drops, so there are some wrinkles to work out here. Great, another great little play action rollout. Really happy with that, getting it to the big man, Jaden Ham. Play action is going to stall the defense as we go to Ham, not on a crossing route, but on a flag route. And that's going to set up a touchdown right here, straight up the gut with Washington, getting his 1st of the year. Sophomore red shirt. We're going to try to get him more involved. Last year with the senior quarterback and the freshman running back, you know, it's obvious we probably wanted to focus on passing, but this year, you know, he's got a whole year of starting under his belt. So we'll see what he can do here in year number 2 as the head coach. Caleb Moore getting through to get the sack. The big man, the defensive tackle. 3rd and 20. 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Bringing a little heat, but when you usually bring heat, they throw these perfect little screens. And of course, you know, 3rd down. Very hard to tackle guys on 3rd down. Look at their running back, by the way, number 80. Kind of crazy, huh? Super speedy guy. But look how much time. This is what I was talking about on winning your ones. We sent 5 and it was 1-on-1. Not a single person could get free. That's a 3rd down exclusive right there. Just another highlight of kicking it out to Davis Dalton. The guy's really shifty, pretty fast for a big guy too, at 91 speed, 6'3", 210 pounds. Pretty wild. Remember that name. Those big plays are going to set up a field goal opportunity. This is going to be another one for the true freshman here. Lefty kicker, by the way. He's got a big leg, mega leg ability. Big deep pass, but we're going to bring the hit stick. And we've got our second team in, our second string guys in. We did mass subs on defense. And of course, offense here. John White, he's our sophomore red shirt. He played a decent bit last year as the predominant backup because we wanted to keep that red shirt on Winkler. Because we only got 3 quarterbacks this year with the one that we signed and Terrence Mallory. So John White getting a little bit of playing. 34-3 is how our first game's gonna end, and that is exactly right. That's how we want to start, not just a conference opener, but a season opener. Centario Willis, 2 picks. One of those is gonna return for the touchdown. Also had a pass breakup in there. A lot of fun. And we're gonna need it, guys, because the second week we're going into Auburn and playing an SEC team, and this is one I'm expecting is not gonna be easy. So it's really good to open up the season with the win. Stats for the game: 21-33, 198, 63%. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 for 3 for White, 15 yards, 20 carries. I told you guys we were going to get Jalen Washington a little more involved. 3 carries for Clay, and then a carry for a yard for Hicks. He's the redshirt freshman running back. Jaden Ham, the transfer from KU, getting 9 catches on the day. The touchdowns going to Gray and to Awasika. You can see we spread it out quite a bit, though. A lot of people in that receiving category. Defensively, total tackles is going to be a split between Willis and Brooks, both on that 3rd level. Sacks going to be more. Caleb Patterson got one as well. So did Jones. We saw that one. And then, of course, the 2 interceptions from Willis, the 1 from Patterson. Really happy with that. 2 for 3 on the field goal ops. Yeah, that's the debut for the freshman kicker. You can see we're already getting opportunities to schedule guys for visits. So that's going to be our first, our next home game, Louisiana Tech. That's also a rivalry game. So we want to get as many people to that game as possible. That's going to push us right into Auburn, guys. We're going to be on the road. We're going to be playing an SEC team. And I mean, historically, Auburn's not a terrible football team. They're one we got to prepare for. So we'll jump right into it, looking to upset the Tigers of Auburn. Not entirely sure how we were supposed to prepare for a game like this, because it's our first time head coach, first time Southern Miss having a big game like this. Look, it's a very unique entrance. They got the eagle flying around. Luckily, you know, we're the Golden Eagles. I don't think we've got it in the budget at Southern Miss to put on the theatrics that Auburn is able to. The War Eagle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we're just gonna do what we can do. We're at, I would say, there's probably like 3 tiers of schools. Personally, there's like a low tier, mid tier, high tier. Low tier is gonna be like, you know, Hawaii, Jacksonville State. Then you can move up to like the Louisville, TCU, Utahs. And then the upper tier is going to be a lot of the SEC teams. And this is why. First play of the game, big run. Yeah. Fortunately here, just fast forward just a bit. We did force them to a 3rd down. This is 3rd and 3, a little draw. We're going to stop them. This got me a little bit hyped. I did decide to return this because it was going to go, there's a chance it goes out at the 1-yard line, which is, in my opinion, against an SEC defensive line, almost a guaranteed safety. So we took the risk to just try as hard as we can to just get out of the danger zone and off our own goal line. Our first play, 4-yard, not too shabby. Fast forward to play, it's 3rd and 6. We're going to roll out just a little bit. We're going to hit our target, and damn it, JQ Gray drops it. Granted, he did take a little shot there, so kind of a bummer. But once we make some contact with the receiver, that's going to pop the ball up in the air. Our Texas A&M transfer from 2 years ago is going to get an interception. I've been really happy with that. Obviously, we haven't had a look at any other free safeties. He's been our starter ever since he got here. Big play by him, though. 3rd and inches. Still 0-0 ball game. You can see us bouncing around left, right, weaving. We're going to end up going across the middle, getting that conversion. 3rd and 8, wanting to set up a screen, and oh my gosh, that was close. The shifty moves by Jalen Washington's going to help us reset the downs, put us in the red zone, and take shots like that. Kind of crazy because that was severely underthrown. I feel like we've done this enough that I know how to throw it over the defense's head, and sometimes there's just these sad spaghetti arm underthrows. You can see Auburn runs a hurry up offense, so just wanted to highlight that there. Our guys getting extremely tired. They did cough up the ball here. We're tired, yes, but the reason why I don't call timeouts is because they've got to be just as tired as us, and that's prevalent right here. As Caleb Patterson, he's been having a year so far through one game, gets a fumble recovery. That's going to give us the ball back. 2nd and 5. We're going to go to Jaden Ham. Look at him. This is why we were so excited when we saw him in the transfer portal. The big KU transfer. Unfortunately, 3rd and 4 going across the middle. Yep, we drop it. And then our freshman kicker. Guys, look at him. He's trying to blame somebody. Oh, that was the worst kick I've ever had. And did you see the power bar reset? I'm not sure if he's just rattled. It's a big game. Obviously, it's a 53-yard field goal, obviously. But, guys, that was dirty. He was closer to hitting a fan in the head than he was making a field goal. Anyways. Big play, wide open. This is kind of the football we expected here, but 0-0 through the first quarter. We're really stoked about that. Not something we expected. They're moving it down the field pretty easily at this point. Tries to scramble. So on the scouting report, I did see he's kind of a dual threat. He can run a little bit. I mean, I think he's more of an improviser than he is a scrambler, but there is that threat of him running. Luckily, we're able to shut it down. But when we spy a backer, it's probably the easiest pitch and catch I've ever seen. The dude just turned around and yeah, White hit him right in the chest for the touchdown. Defense really didn't do anything. So 7-0. 3 minutes to go here in the half. We've got to respond. 3rd and 4 here. It's loud. There's no hot routes coming. Another crossing route. Another drop from Simmons. Huh. That's our senior, by the way. I don't know if you guys notice the number on the back of that guy's jersey. That's Caleb Patterson. Another big turnover here on the road against Auburn. I'm thankful that these guys are experiencing the same toughness that we are of like, you could see the underthrow there and allowed us for an easy interception because we're beat, man. We're beat. Caleb Patterson securing that interception. Not going to do much though. We're going to throw it right back to him on 3rd and 17. We just tried to make it anything happen with 90 seconds left to go in the half, and we end up throwing the pick. Now I'm starting to think about our senior red shirt. If we're going to throw picks, we can at least do it with somebody who's a little younger, who we can learn from, who has 2 more years to develop, presumably. Maybe. Something to think about. Quarterback's going to run it up the middle with 40 seconds to go in the half. 30 seconds of running out. Same exact animation that they scored on the first time. This time, just tack on about 15 yards. Defense did not. The dude was just standing there. Good for them. 14-0. Less than 30 seconds left. We're going to throw it to the outside. JQ Gray coming through. Good. You got to make up for it, son. That's what we're saying. Before we throw the deep ball, check this out. I thought the tip was up in the air, but we immediately caught it. I was going to push square for the secure the catch, and we had the ball already. So we ended up diving. Fast forward, we're going to throw it to Simmons. It says that we scored here. Guys, but this is going to go up to the booth, and they're going to reverse this. It's going to be on the 1-inch yard line. You be the judge, because to me it looks like he fell in the end zone right there. You'll hear the commentary right there. Look like a score to me. Right up the middle, no luck. 4 seconds to go here in the half. On 2nd and goal, instead of just taking the points, we're going to scramble out and we're going to secure this touchdown. That's Winkler using his feet. This is something we didn't do a whole lot of last year, is using our quarterback mobily. So really happy that panned out. A little more speed because some of the throws are pretty awful, but to be fair, Rodemaker had some pretty bad throws as well last year. So we're gonna rely on that dynamic. You can see right there. Pretty easy, just walk it in. 7-14 against Auburn at halftime. I'm gonna have to say we're not proud of that, but we're happy with that. First play of the game, right up the middle, Jalen Washington, who has been honestly surprising. You know, he's like a 2-3 yard guy last year every carry. He's having quite a few big plays both in the run game and the passing game, as you can see, back to back, one up the middle, one on that screen. But the pressure is just too much for us, guys. They're gonna force the punt. I thought we had enough here to maybe down this within the 10, but rolls into the end zone. Crazy runs. Our dog shit dive tackles right at the feet. It is what it is. 3rd and 7 here, right across the middle. Look at that. Look at it. Just out of reach for Braxton Myers there. Forcing another 3rd down though, so we're really happy that we're making it difficult for him. And here we force him to come up short, but it's just a monster field goal. That guy's not a true freshman, right? This is the last play for Alex Winkler, by the way. You can see that we had a step on the defender and we just we led by about 20% too much and threw it right to the defense. So that's going to be the last play that we have Alex Winkler in the ball game. John White is on the sidelines warming up. 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's undersized for our liking. But at this point, like we said, if we're going to throw picks, if we're going to do dumb shit, we might as well do it with a young kid who's going to be better than the 72 next year, I would think. 17 carries, 88 yards for the Auburn running back. Run that play fake. Luckily, Whit Weeks is going to get into the backfield and make the sack, because you could see the defenders froze up when they thought that running back was going to get the ball. So big play here. Now a senior. He's the LSU transfer. He's got the SEC experience. He says, I ain't scared of nobody. Throwing deep here. Who's that? That's Patterson. Another pick. Dude, this guy's something else this year. So relatively quiet last year. He's a senior this year, but he has been a turnover machine. I believe, what was that, 2 last week, and he had a fumble recovery 2 this week. Pretty crazy. Trying not to force anything. We get John White to roll out, buy a little time before throwing that short screen pass, which was blown up. There's no luck there. We've got to punt it away. 17-7 here. And look at that. We talked about the running ability of this quarterback, and right there, they just finally beat us down, man. Big play by him. Puts him in the red zone. You can see the difference in rushing yards. Only 38 for the Golden Eagles. 134 for the War Eagles. Obviously, when you can run the ball, any kind of play action or RPO is going to freeze the defense. And pretty simple pitch and catch to the back of the end zone. 24-7 to go into the 4th quarter. We'll just show John White going to work here. He's got a weird throwing motion, that like shortstop style motion, right? But he has done no better. I've kind of chalked that up to user error. I waited way too long And yeah, I pretty much threw that pick myself. So no need to panic quite yet. We got to get a lot more looks at John White. It's going to be pretty easy because quarterback's going to run it in for a touchdown. I think that's only like 3 plays later too. So really quick turnaround from the INT to the touchdown. And just look at this throwing motion. It's crazy. But luckily we hook up with Davis Dalton. He's going to score a touchdown here. This is what we were talking about in week 1. He's got size, he's got good hands, and he's got speed. This started to open our eyes. Look at the duck that he threw to. It started to open our eyes to, okay, let's start putting people in position to succeed. After this game, we'll go more in depth to what exactly we mean by that. Jalen Washington, big run down within the 5-yard line. We're trying to score again, guys. We're going to give it to him right up the middle. Very cool. Jalen Washington gets the score right after the Davis Dalton score. It's going to be 20-31. It's going to be pretty easy for them to run out the clock after that. They weren't trying to throw it. They weren't doing the hurry up. It was just pretty much picking up first down after first down. And of course, 170 or 65% completion, 4 touchdowns, but he did have 3 picks. They ain't showing that though, are they? Hell no, they ain't. Look at that pitch and catch, beautiful. Didn't even have to try. That's Davis Dalton. This is going to be part of what we talk about after this game and some of the changes that we're going to make. But you know, it could have been a lot worse. We're decently happy with how we performed. Winkler 3 picks, 46%. And then you can see White there. He did have 60%. 11 carries, 77 yards for Washington. And 1 carry for 20 for John White. That was a scramble. 8 catches, 53 yards for Gray. L. Simmons. It's Larry Simmons, 4 for 85. We got that touchdown on a 63-yard catch by Dalton. Over on the defensive side of the ball, we had 9 tackles by Caleb Harris. He's playing a bit of backer as well as defensive back. The sacks are going to go to Myers, Davis, and Weeks. And then, of course, these picks, man. We had 2 of them from Caleb Patterson and 1 from Dalton Brooks. Both those guys transfer, so Illinois and Texas A&M respectively. Robbins did miss that kick, so that's pretty unfortunate there. Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Week goes to Weeks. That's going to set us up for Louisiana Tech. But guys, we've got some changes to make. Before we jump into week 3, guys, here's going to be the changes. So John White is going to move into the starting quarterback position after the 3-pick game from our senior quarterback Winkler. I understand that we were playing Auburn at Auburn, 17th ranked, I believe, as far as stadium atmosphere and difficult place to play. So it wasn't exactly an environment conducive to success, right? But I think one of our coordinators has a perk here. And when I moved John White into the starter role, he bumped up from a 71 to a 74. Right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into our rivalry game against Louisiana Tech with John White at quarterback. Second, we're going to move Davis Dalton, who had that big touchdown catch last week at Auburn. We're going to move him to a starting receiver role. Why? Because we're going to move Larry Simmons down to our slot receiver. So you can see he's a little bit smaller, 2 inches smaller, 6'1", 190. Compared to this 210-pound, 207-pound receivers. I'm going to put these 2 on the outside. I'm going to put Simmons at the slot receiver. That's going to be a big change there. We'll go right quick to the slot receiver. You'll see that Gray will now be slot receiver 2 and Simmons slot receiver 1. Vasher will have an opportunity if any of these guys get tired. The other thing we did, you can see the slot corner. Caleb Patterson has so many picks this season. We're only going through 2 games. We're going to move him into the slot. The reason being If we come down here to our corner, we did have Myers there. But look at this man coverage, right? So even though his tendency, Caleb Patterson, is man-to-man coverage, Braxton Myers is still better in both press and man. So I'm gonna put Patterson in the slot. I'm gonna put Myers and Willis out on the islands, right? And both these guys have the tendency for like a slot tendency. So we would love to have man-to-man tendency out there, but they've got to have the man coverage stats to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, that's going to be our biggest changes. Again, that's going to be John White at quarterback, Davis Dalton moving to receiver, and then Patterson into the slot, Myers out on the island. That's going to lead us right into our rivalry game against Louisiana Tech. They are 1-1. So are we. This is going to be a home game for us. If you remember back last year, we did end up winning this. I believe it was our first win as a head coach against Louisiana Tech, against this a rival, an in-game rival, and we're excited about that. Let's go ahead and jump in. Let's see how these changes to our depth chart, are they going to sit well? Are they going to put us back a step? We're always looking to take advantage of coverages and things of that nature. So I'm hoping the changes we've made is a step in the right direction, but we're going to find out right now. Rivalry games, always fun. A reason to pull out alternate uniforms as well. We got the yellow tops, black on black. If you remember last year when we were on the road and played Louisiana Tech, they had some really cool like baby blues, some powder blues, some baby Billies, baby Billy Bible bonkers, righteous gemstones, if you're asking. You can see right there, Southern Miss. We've got the 2-game streak right now. First play of the game. They do what we do, man. Basically, same play too. Spread them out and run it off tackle or off the guard. 3rd and 1. We're going to bring a little bit of pressure here. Unable to penetrate in time. They do convert. 3rd and 7, though. We're going to fast forward just a little bit. Almost knocked that one down. Luckily, it overthrows it. That was Willis on the coverage. Honda is going to be the punt returner. You did see Davis getting some punt return coverage last week at Auburn. So we got both those guys in there. We'll just find who's the proper fit there. We kind of got pushed around, to be honest with you. Jalen Washington like a damn ping pong ball. But we're going to kick that one out. That's Simmons now in the slot, and that's why we're putting him there. He doesn't have the speed that Dalton has or the height, but he does have great hands. So we usually like the speed in the slot, but we're going to put Simmons there. And you can see we're moving. We're moving. Big play right here. We try to throw it up. We get elevated, but the contact knocks the ball into the air, and the right guys in the right place at the right time. Pretty easy pick. They're going to be within the 10, though, for a second, because they're going to run it off the tackle, and they're going to pick up about what feels like 70 yards. Their quarterback also very funky, like 3-quarter throwing motion. Weren't able to knock that one down. Just great catch. You can see the different tackle styles that I use throughout the game as well. Like if we can't tackle, like right here, no dive tackle, just run into them. Whatever works. We force the 4th down. Check this out. They're going to miss it. So even on Heisman mode, there's going to be mistakes, which I'm happy to see. No points for Louisiana Tech here in this rivalry game. So we're going to take over on downs. Nice little rollout there by John White. Making a big connection. That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. 39 passing yards, 28 on the ground. We have 7.4 per play to their 6.8. Still a 0-0 ball game. More big runs by Jalen Washington. We didn't show a lot of that last year because he honestly just didn't have a whole bunch. Almost an interception, guys. This is Javion Butler. I want you to pay attention now. This, I'm not sure if it has to do with this funky throwing motion, but where Rodemaker was getting picked off on those passes last year, these sidearm guys are completing them, and not just completing them. We did this against Auburn with Davis Dalton. It went for 6, and here again, he can't get to the ball. Javion Butler takes it to the house. We tried to run that dude over too, because that wide receiver is 6'5" right there, 209 pounds. Try to run over a defensive back, but that's going to put us ahead 7-0. We got about 5 minutes here in the half. Great little play action pass. 5 people around him. 5 people around him. Still makes the catch. So Heisman still, you know, it is what it is. 3rd down. We're gonna get the penetration. We're gonna make the sack. That's gonna be Henry. 4th and 24. Rod Henry. This is the first time we've ever seen him. Didn't do anything last year. I'm pretty sure he had a red shirt on last year, but his first big play in this this rivalry game and on the year, 3 weeks into the season. Yeah, 55-yard field goal, good. They talked about how much of a sure thing it was, but that kind of snuck in on the right corner there. Not sure if you guys seen that. Running a draw on 3rd down does not work out. We've got to punt it away. 3rd and 10 on the fast forward, and oh my gosh, dude, this guy's having a hell of a year. This guy's having a hell of a year. Lays out, gets the pick. How many is that? I'm pretty sure that's his 5th pick. Either his 4th or his 5th pick on the year. 3rd and 14 here. Ooh. John White throws it like a damn shortstop over the first baseman's head. Or wide receiver, whatever you want to call him. But we got the LSU transfer in Whit Weeks. He said, I didn't come to fucking Southern Miss to lose ball games. You know, we got whooped by Auburn. I get it, but let's go out there and win a Sun Belt championship. Breaks through the line, gets a sack, and finally a decent kick return. Guys, this completely flips the field. And then, of course, we overthrow it. It's all good, though. Fast forward, it's 3rd and 7. We're looking to score, but these little corner routes, I thought we had the arm strength of Rodemaker. We could hit it and run up into the end zone, but he floats it, man. He doesn't have the arm strength. We were going to go for it. We did get a false start penalty, so step it back. Oh, I forgot about this. If you guys didn't know, we also put the red shirt on our freshman kicker. We brought Gibbs back. Gibbs missed 2 field goals last year, both within the 20. Yeah. I decided right after we recorded that clip of what we're changing on the offense, I said, you know what? Gibbs deserves to be out there. He was almost automatic for us last year. We're going to bring him back. We're going to put that red shirt on the freshman kicker, the lefty. So, yeah, that's one that we didn't go over. I'm really glad that we showed that. But he punches it through after we get that penalty. Just steps back, you know. Give us a little space. And, of course, he punches it through. 10-3 at halftime. And we get the ball. Yeah, they were surprised at that, but we want to take it up to 25, not the 16. Look at that. Stopped his route completely. Luckily, he went up the ladder, made the catch. It's Jaden Ham. Recycling those downs. And Jalen Washington, of course. More big plays. We're going deep here, but little contact. Shoving back and forth. Fortunately, it goes our way. That's going to be a pass interference. That was on a 3rd down, so got really lucky. 4th and inches here. You know what? This is a rivalry game. I'm not losing it. We're going RPO, and I'm just going to run this straight up the middle. Yeah, that's Kenyon Clay is his name. He's our power back. Tried to hurdle the defense here. Just going out. and then from a almost an I form, had a tight end in the backfield, almost like a fullback, straight up the middle, runs and out, scores a touchdown. That's Jaden Ham. Awesome. And I'm pretty certain we made a change to our offensive scheme in this game. So since last year, we ran Florida State. Not since last year, since Hawaii, we've run like a Florida State offense. And we recently just changed to an Ole Miss spread offense. So those are some of the differences that you're seeing in our offensive play. Something that is just a little more suited to a mobile, non-throwing quarterback. Yeah. I don't know what it is about tackling, but big plays sometimes like piss me off, you know, especially when you can't make a tackle. I understand if like they put a hat on a hat and create some lanes, but when you just miss tackles, I know it gets realistic. A lot of defensive backs miss tackles, but yeah, that one hurt. Check this out. This is why we put Davis Dalton on a primary receiver, moved him up the depth chart. Because he can run away from almost everybody. Plus, he can climb the ladder. Granted, that one early in the game, he did jump up. I did pull an aggressive catch to shut the ball up in the air, and it was picked. But plays like this, man. Look at that duck. Our quarterback is not a quarterback. He's like Matt Saracen from Friday Night Lights. That's what John White reminds me of. Like a little short quarterback. Third down, we get the penetration. Force the punt. 24-10 here. Minute to go in the third quarter. We're just trying to stay safe because we're 2 scores ahead. We got a little Matt Saracen style quarterback. Botch coverage right there, man. That's Willis. Hit and miss with Willis. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. This time we brought the damn house. We brought the damn house, and look who it is. It's Caleb Patterson. That's crazy. This guy all over the place. He's getting sacks. He's getting picks. Great throw. That 3-quarter throw to the outside is money every single time. I'm not sure if it's a quarterback animation thing. I'm not sure because we have quite a bit of success with that as well. Going back to Davis Dalton, man. Playing press coverage on him. Outrun him. How many times did we miss that last year with Simmons, with Larry Simmons? And now we're 2 for 2 on throwing that streak. The fact that the streak is back, something that we were so successful with at Hawaii, this has got me hyped. This opens up a whole new like big play facet to our game. I was so excited about that. So it was just a matter of swapping one of our depth chart receivers with some speed and height out to the outside, putting our shorter guy in the slot. And Simmons has got the hands. Whitweek's getting through again for another sack. This is his 3rd sack. You see that little graphic right there. 3rd sack of the game. 4th and 23 in the 4th. They've got to go for it. Oh my gosh, that's deep. We're going to step in front of it. Braxton Myers. Braxton Myers was like our hot corner last year. Sacks, picks, all over the place. He's a junior this year, so if he doesn't go pro, we've got another year with him. Ends up getting the pick right there. Gonna hand it to Awasaka up the middle. No luck, so we're gonna run a little play action here, and we're gonna hit him. This is the first touchdown we had all year, by the way, if you remember, against Coastal Carolina. This time he gets caught up in some traffic, but tough running. He's got the strength, he's got the size, he's got the break tackle to finish off that play. His 2nd touchdown of the year through the air. True freshman, Awasika. Honestly, I think it'd be cool to have more like fullback sets. We have a whole, I think it's like a wing or a T that has the fullback in it. We might run that some more. Terrence Mallory, the redshirt freshman. We didn't pull his red shirt, guys. We put him in at quarterback just to get some reps because we can. You know, we got 4. He could play in 4 games and still keep his red shirt. So that's what we're going to do here. Just complete a few passes. In his same recruiting class was Hicks, their running back, the running back that you just saw. So both those guys getting some playing time, while still the whole point being to conserve their redshirt status. They move the ball down the field. Not able to score a touchdown, but are able to get in the field goal range. Gibbs is going to kick it through. 41-17. Dude. With Weeks getting through again. 4 sacks on the day. That's crazy. I don't know what the Southern Miss school record is, but the dude's approaching it. You got to. He's got to. Look at that. Almost had his 5th one. Almost had his 5th sack. Texas A&M free safety Brooks. Dalton Brooks. 2 years ago transferred to Southern Miss. He's going to pick 6 this bad boy. And it's a stretch, right? Minute 13 left, and we're going to go 48-17. That's going to lead us to the final. That's a big time rivalry game win. 294 passing yards, 64%, 4 passing touchdowns. Right? Did we have a rushing one? No, that was Winkler. 5 touchdowns. Sophomore redshirt. It makes you look good when things like that happen, when you make changes. Go over the stats. 16 for 25. 5 passing touchdowns. Just 1 pick. 2 for 4 for Terrence Mallory. Washington 16 carries, 67 yards. And you can see just 1 carry down the board except for Hicks. Jaden Ham 5 for 32 with a touchdown. 2 for 159 for Dalton. Another swap that just looks like a big brain move, right? 1 catch for the touchdown for the freshman Awasaka. And then Butler, 1 catch, 42 yards. He got a score as well. Defensive side of the ball, we got 10 tackles out of Caleb Harris. Again, he's playing both linebacker and secondary. Sacks, 4 of them for Whit Weeks, 1 for Henry. And then we've got a half a sack out of 3 dudes. 1 pick for Myers, 1 for Brooks, and another one for Patterson. Kicking wise, we were 2 for 2 with Gibbs. Welcome back, Connor Gibbs, to finish out your senior year, buddy. We're going to get a player of the week. Conference player of the week out of Whit Weeks. But that's not all. We're going to get a national defensive player of the week out of him as well. Congratulations, man. Really happy about that, especially because he's a transfer from LSU. He had an opportunity to play big time football. Decided to transfer and help us out here at Southern Miss. Guys, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for being here. When we come back, it's another rivalry game. This is a rematch from our bowl game. We're going to be taking on Tulane. They're 1-2. We are 2-1. This is a big one. I really want to get this one back. We were down big, and we end up coming back with just not enough time in the bowl game last year. So I'm really looking forward to this one. If you're liking the series, show some love. Leave a like, leave a comment. Consider subscribing. Hang out for the long run, because we're just getting underway here in our 2nd season as head coach.